Thank you so much, Kevin, and many thanks for all you do and the National Operations Center of Excellence supporting us for CRSW as well as our monthly Talking Tim webinar. You guys do a phenomenal job, Kevin. Next slide. So this is our disclaimer. U.S. government does not endorse any company or product, and the presenter's views and opinions do not reflect the U.S. DOT or its policies. Next slide. So the Crash Responder Safety Week All-State Planning webinar is the first, well, this is the first of a three-part series or set of webinars to facilitate state, regional, local sharing of strategies and successes for CRSW. And note that today we will set the context for, or of, I should say, Crash Responder Safety Week and discuss this year's tagline or theme. We're pleased to have two CRSW champions who will speak about unique efforts they've undertaken to bring awareness to traffic incident management and to the broader public. Next slide. So who's this webinar for? It's directed to communications and public information officers from all the different organizations, not just transportation. Obviously, we have police, fire, rescue, towing and recovery, EMS, and public works, and law enforcement participants. And we welcome all of you to participate if this is your first time with us. And we're excited that we're actually in our 10-year anniversary, which I'll hit on here in a minute or two. Next slide. So a little history. This year, CRSW falls on the week of November 17th through the 21st. It was CRSW was initiated back in 2016, and under a different, actually we transitioned to the new branding, if you will. And as I said, this is the 10th year for CRSW, a very big deal. And during this week, we spotlight what every road user should do when approaching roadway incidents. Well, you can read it for yourself. This is critically important to our community, to all our lives. We all want to get home as well, but in particular, our responders that are out there working crashes and all kinds of other traffic incidents is of utmost importance. And it's underscored under a project that we have called the Everyday Counts Next Generation Project, Next Gen TIM Technologies for Saving Lives. Next slide. So CRSW actions for every state and local agency. I want to underscore that this is not just transportation. These are all the stakeholders of response, emergency response agencies, public works. And these are just some of the things that you as state leaders and champions, whether you're in your public affairs, public relations departments, acting as PIOs or CIOs, regardless, you can make a difference and you can take on any one of these initiatives or activities. And there are many more, to be honest with you, that we might hear later on in the webinar when we do a brief roll call, if you will, to all the states that are participating today. So the QR code that's right here, please take a second and scan that, because it's important what we are also going to discuss, which is the CRSW Ally in Actions, where we want to document all of you that are going to participate in this year's CRSW and know or learn more about what your organization is going to do. So the Ally in Action piece of this webinar is really for us to collaborate with you, and let's do so. Next slide. Here again, CRSW actions for specific response agencies. Number one, transportation, for example, and I'll say this in advance, any of the organizations, whether it's public safety, public works, or transportation, even motor vehicles, should work with your highway safety offices that reside typically within the transportation department, but HSOs, as they're called, most of the time in my experience, when you're trying to coordinate messages, that first bullet on the portable or overhead fixed changeable message signs, messaging regarding move over, driver removal laws, and a whole myriad of other messages that I encourage you to work with your highway safety offices and DOT operations centers. The second bullet there, hosting tours at traffic operations centers or traffic management centers, as they're referred to as well. Safety service patrols, who can distribute materials at rest stops and the like, have also been something that an activity that some states take on. Law enforcement can do the ride-alongs, as you can read for yourself right here, and do mass media events, implement campaigns, enforcement campaigns, to issue warnings or citations for move over violations, and other activities that I'm sure those of you who are in law enforcement can come up with to be a part of this very important life-saving effort. The DMVs, Department of Motor Vehicles, or Department of or Motor Vehicle Administrations, MVAs, also participate. I mentioned rest areas and some of the things that occur at those stations or at those rest areas, with videos, posters, and other materials that are a lot of times just available right there at those facilities, that motorists can take advantage of and hopefully get the messaging. Next slide. So proclamations, you can see here the map. 2024, as of the end of 2024, we had 22 governor's proclamations, but then there were a number of others that you see here to the right that were either mayoral or other organizations, metropolitan planning organizations, for example, and other associations even can produce proclamations. So we encourage governors, we encourage all of the above. And there is a template that we can share that's part of the materials, along with a whole bunch of other materials. You see Vishali's putting different links in the chat pod for you to take advantage of. But certainly feel free to reach out to my office, and between Vishali and Kelly Claver, who's on with us today as well, contractor support, and Kevin Vita from the NOCO. So let's try to double this. You'll see here on the next slide. We're going to shoot for what, 35 for this year. Next slide. 35 states. No, this slide is the day of the week social media outreach that we do, hashtag CRSW. But as you see here, we have a focused message for each day of the week, self-explanatory. And this is something that all of you can participate again and whatever fashion you like, and we'll help you get there. If there's anything that you need in addition to the materials that are available on the NOCO site for CRSW, make it a point to go to the Center of Excellence and see what's there already been developed and materials that are customizable, if you will, for you and your organization to take advantage of. Next slide. So here's where I was going a second ago. I got ahead of myself as far as performance targets. Let's try to hit 35 proclamations. Governor, I say governor, mayoral, doesn't matter. Who knows? Maybe we can, 10-year anniversary, maybe we can get up to 40 or 50 different proclamations. And please, as you're developing those, and especially when they're signed and distributed, advertised, what have you, make sure that FHWA, Office of Operations, the TIM program office, my office, along with Sharon Cuevas, my colleague, who I believe is on with us as well, and our team leader, David Johnson, we'd love to have those products, please, and we make sure to archive them. And of course, Kelly and Vishali, who help us tremendously with the effort. So the Allies in Action sign-up form is something, as I said earlier, that we're doing nowadays every year, and we want to get 100 plus, if not more, of those as well. So you'll have, I believe, a link that you'll see here in a few minutes where you'll be able to access the form and give us the information we're looking for, as far as your organization narrative and whatnot, what exactly you are planning to do for CRSW. Wouldn't it be awesome to get over 1 million social media outreach? That we could do. I'm pretty sure we've gotten close in the past, but again, don't forget 10-year anniversary. And today we're going to talk a little bit about PSAs, public safety announcements, by radio stations. One of our presenters today, which is just very cool and very knowledgeable, experienced professional in the radio industry, is going to present and share what they're going to do to promote CRSW. Next slide. Okay, so here we are. Ideas for the 2025 tagline or theme. So here you see to the left, the 4 that have been suggested thus far. To the right are 7, I believe. Yeah, 7 themes or taglines from previous years. But tell us in the chat pod, tell us what you prefer, if you know of a new one. But we do have a poll question that popped up, perfect timing, where we want to hear from you what you think of these 4 here to the left. We'll give you a few seconds to do that, and then we'll show the results. Again, feel free though, if there's a different one that you're thinking of, feel free to put it in the chat pod. So how many, let's see, there's 102 participants on the webinar today, which we thank you very much, all of you, for taking the time to participate. You're the ones that make this a success. So we thank you dearly. Okay. Can we show results in another? Okay. Interesting. The first one, 18%, drive with care, first responders are everywhere. Keep responders safe while they work to keep you safe, 23%. And so far, at least right now, the winner seems to be safety starts with you, slow down, move over, stay alert at 53% again. And then at 5%, a decade of advancing responder safety. That third one is an important, or a very good one, I should say. Our dear friend from the Eastern Transportation Coalition, Cheryl Bradley, had made the point on last month's leadership um, um, meeting that we had, the National Committee for CRSW, which our executives, Cheryl had expressed interest in that because it has an action. It's actionable, if you will. And we agree with that as well. So anyway, we're going to close that out and keep moving on here. Next slide. Okay, so here are some of those resources that I mentioned we can make available to you. Starting with the proclamations, governor, state, local, regional proclamations, the messaging, changeable message, sign strategies, press releases, demonstration events, testimonials, you name it. CRSW theme videos, which is something we do as well. Even here at Federal Highway, we through our public affairs office, we work with our leaders here, executive leaders, to develop videos. And then news coverage, leveraging ride-along facility tours, I think were mentioned earlier, and the CRSW social media outreach toolkit, which right now has 2024 material, but will be updated here next month. So look for that. And in the meantime, don't be bashful. Feel free to send me an email, Vishali, copy Kelly, and we're here to help. But everything for CRSW is available on the website for the National Operations Center of Excellence. There's a question here, Kevin. The gentleman, I believe it's Bo Badgett, that had his hand up now for a while. Can you open his mic and maybe Bo can speak up? Please tell us who you're with, Bo, and ask your question. Or does he have to do it?
Jen, I'm happy to step in until Bo gets in. So I think one question was specifically for the FHWA team. Can mayors of cities have state roads post proclamations for CRSW? And I don't know if you want to answer that or you want me to field that answer.
You go right ahead.
Yeah, so if there's a mayor that you're working with that is able to issue a proclamation, we would encourage that office of the mayor to become a CRSW ally in action, to post that proclamation through that QR code or that link. But if they don't have the bandwidth to do so, you're welcome to do so on their behalf. So you could fill out that form and upload that proclamation from that mayor, that county executive. And, either way works, whichever is easier for that organization. And then there was also a question by Tony Casella, when will the decision be made for the 2025 theme? And that will be announced during the next all states planning webinar taking place in August. I believe it's August 13th at 3 p.m. And it is the second Wednesday of the month. So that is the answer to that. There are a couple of open questions for Tina as well as for Sean. So I don't know if you want to cover those first and then we can do the hand raising.
Well, being that you know where these questions are,
Sure, happy to ask a couple if you'd
continue
like.
on, Vishali.
Absolutely. So the next question I'm going to bring up is for Tina. There were a couple of questions. So I think the most important is how did you get all of these agencies to get involved and to say yes? And how did you choose the location? Was it for media accessibility, public accessibility, responder accessibility? And can you duplicate this in Western Maryland or elsewhere? Tina, if you want to get on video, that would be great.
Sure. So good question. So, well, we chose, I'll go for first the location because we looked at a few different ones, but the idea was we wanted to have folks be able to come to see where it all started. So, how it works. So, that is the home of our chart program. And we thought that would really could help make that connection for our chart program. And if they could see, again, they could see all the roads on, come inside, take the tour, and just to make that connection and say, oh, I know that road. I travel that road every day. And then we just thought it could again, just making those connections and that might change behaviors. It may not, but what we have to do what we could try, those simple, making those little bit of connections could maybe change behavior. And then we knew also we needed a place that was large. Well, then we decided who are we going to have? So we knew we wanted to reach out to those local fire and police. And, we reached out and so receptive because they know how important it is. And they do attend those touch a truck events. And they say, how the community supports them. And they just knew it's important to get the message out and to make those connections. So they were very receptive about participating. And then when we started looking, we knew we needed to have plenty of space for the vehicles to be able to be spread out safely because we know it needed to be safe. And we needed to know that we need to have parking for all of the vehicles and easy access. So we had them come in one way and exit the other. And we had our safety folks at State Highway look at the plan, make sure it made sense. Also, we had to make sure for the helicopter that they were able to land safely. So their folks had to look at it and to make sure there was enough space around them for the safety land. So did I answer all of the questions?
Yeah, and how would you make it happen in Western Maryland?
Well, and this is what we're talking about. So, this was the first time, I think it could definitely be duplicated. So we're going to meet again to determine, do we want to do the same one event? Could we do two, maybe regionally? Could we do multiples? Because I really think now that we've done it, we know some things that we could do differently. Maybe instead of stickers, maybe it's more of a stamper that they do and stamp instead of doing the stickers. So we think that could be quicker. So maybe it could be more turnkey. Right now we have customer relations managers across the state for State Highway. So we could probably, make bins and we do all of the, that type of planning. But if they're out in their, Western Maryland, they reach out to their local police and our local fire, and they get them to attend. They just scout out the locations, but we could do the creative of the flyers, the press release, so I think it could be done if in other states. So and we'd be happy to share what we have with you. So it could be more, I think it can be more turnkey. And each year, you learn from what needs to be improved. And that was one of the things that we learned. Stickers. And I remember cutting all these stickers, hours and hours of cutting stickers. Should have bought stampers, and you learn. So I think it definitely can be done.
Excellent. And there's a question for Sean Sullivan in that, what if iHeartRadio is not in my market? How do I proceed? And is there anything in terms of the cost or charges in terms of these public safety announcements? So I don't know if you want to cover those. That was multiple questions I combined into one.
Sure. Thank you. So, excuse me. iHeart definitely has a huge footprint across the whole United States. However, there are markets, in particular, I'll give an example, just south of me in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and Richmond, Virginia. There are no iHeart stations. However, through TTWN, because we provide those other radio companies their traffic and weather reports, we are under contract to be able to utilize the sponsorship of those reports. When it comes to PSAs for CRSW, there is no cost associated with it. It does all depend on whether we have available inventory, and we can definitely schedule something for you across the variety of formats in the market. And then the last thing I want to just talk about is towards the end of my slides, there was that radio-locator.com slide that talked about how you can find out exactly what radio stations are within your area. Definitely do a search. If you need me to help you in finding out what are the best stations in the markets, please reach out to me. Happy to help.
Excellent. Any questions that weren't covered, please ask them. I think we've covered all of the audience-based questions. So Jim, turn it back to
Yeah,
you.
thanks. Thanks, Vishali. And I see Mr. Badgett, I guess, logged off. And I know Dr. Harden, James Harden, had his hand up as well, I believe, but no longer does. So I apologize to both of them for not.
No, he actually, he actually said he was accidentally had his hand up. So no question additional to what he already submitted.
Okay.
So we're good.
That happens to the best of us. So
yes.
Anyway, no, thanks, Vishali. And let's see. We're 28 minutes from closure, correct?
Yeah, we try to finish by 4:15, 4 to 4:15, but we do have a few more things to cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I just want to thank Tina and Sean for sharing and their great presentations and information that I'm sure is helpful to our audience. And we'll hopefully continue to collaborate with both of them moving forward. I'm going to go right into the roll call, Vishali.
Sounds great.
So the next slide, I believe, is all the states. And this is going to be quick. I know there's some of you that will report. I'm going to do this in clusters, if you will. I'm not going to go state by state. So Alabama to Iowa. Does anybody want to share what their plans are, if any, at this point? So that's Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, DC, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa. Any takers? Anybody want to share what you're planning? Anything new for the 10-year anniversary of CRSW? Okay. I'm going to move then to the second group. Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan. Obviously, we know what Maryland's doing. And I saw Dawn from Michigan. Dawn, do you want to chime in? Anything? Okay, if not, Tony Casella, I heard Vishali mention Tony from Minnesota. Okay, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico. Anything to share from any of you?
And it
Okay,
looks like Kevin Maxwell from Nevada said they are gearing up and hoping to be ready to share in August. So that sounds great.
okay.
And other states, if you're on the call and not quite ready today, but want to share in August, do text like Kevin has done in the chat so that we'll know and connect with you for next webinar.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So next group is New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington State, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming. Anyone from any state, would you like to share thoughts? You have a question? I see Nadine Olson raised her hand. I don't know if that's by error or can you see if Nadine Olson wrote anything in the chat pod, Vishali?
I'm going to go ahead and try to unmute Nadine just a second. Kevin, have you unmuted? There we go. Go for it, Nadine.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to let everyone know that this year we plan to try to expand all the county proclamations to the top or to all 72 counties in Wisconsin. And we also want to expand our mayor proclamations to the top 25 cities by population.
Outstanding. Outstanding, Nadine. And I saw Mike Youngbluth on as well. So you guys do phenomenal work every year. So thanks again, Nadine. Alex Leapley, Major Alex Leapley.
Well, I appreciate the promotion, but
I knew you'd like that, Alex.
yeah,
Captain.
yeah. Hey, Utah is going to do. I know some of the UDOT guys from Utah DOT are on, but we work in partnership with them. We'll be doing it again this year. We do media blitzes and press conferences and displays for CRSW. And we'll be doing another governor's proclamation again this year. Most years we try and focus on the 4-hour, what used to be the Sharp 2 training on the Wednesday for responder training day, and we'll do that again this year, hopefully with either a train the trainer course or just regular 4-hour course or both in various locations around the state. So anyway.
Very good. Great to hear your voice, Alex. Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's see. Anyone else? Angela, I'm shocked that you haven't. Well, let me go first to Adam Perez. Can you unmute? There you go. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, so Tennessee here. We've been getting a governor's proclamation for the last several years. We'll go for that again. I like the idea of getting the announcements out over the radio. So we'll work with our CRO office and see if we can get that out there. But, we're early on in our plans. I thoroughly enjoyed today's message. It's given us some good ideas, and hopefully we'll be able to report a little bit more as we move along in one of the next webinars.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And, you know, we're under 5 months away, I think 17, 18 weeks. So when you put it in that respect, you know how time flies. So everybody that's here today and the next round, our next webinar, really got to push the envelope to get, especially the proclamations, et cetera, going. So thanks again, Adam. I started to say that Angela Roper from the great state of Arizona usually speaks up, and she did not today. So kind of throwing her under the bus. Angela, you can yell at me. It's okay. Or just
So
chime in.
Jim, it's amazing in the chat, a lot of great input. Minnesota's Christine Hernandez noted they began to create social media posts already, which is wonderful. Owen Hassan from Missouri said the same PSAs and governor's proclamations, etc. What's even better to hear is that New York has created a subcommittee for the steering group to discuss options in addition to social media and proclamation. And Georgia also has a working group underway. And so he'll have something more by the next webinar. Michigan, of course, Dawn said that Michigan will pursue similar CRSW activities, including the proclamation, media release, PSA. So one thing I'm going to try to plug again is we would love for all of you to become allies in action, because you're already champions for CRSW and doing things for states. So make sure that before the next webinar, if you have a moment, complete that ally in action. And one of the things we hope to do is if you upload your organization's logo, we're going to hopefully present that as a part of the national kickoff webinar. So
Very
all
good.
really good stuff.
Yes, for sure. Anyone
Okay.
else?
Am I unmuted?
You are,
You are,
Angela.
Angela.
Yay! Yay! Hey, did Dr. Harden, is he on here? He was earlier. Did he give his spill
No,
on?
he did not. He got mad because I guess I didn't get to him in time, and I think he stepped away. But we love Dr. Harden. He's
Well,
a
you know,
leader in the emergency medical services world in your state of Arizona, correct?
yes. And let me tell you, this man has created a spreadsheet that is, I don't know, 2 pages long, and it has every discipline what everybody needs to do. And
Yeah.
it goes through, the DPA, every entity, stakeholder involved. He's got something they can do. Plus what we've already done, previously, like with the Domino's pizzas.
I was
That's
just going to ask
increasing
you.
this year.
Yeah.
It's like even to more stores. I mean, he's done a phenomenal thing with that. And then I think he's trying to work with the firehouse subs also.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what else he's been up to. He wasn't on our meeting yesterday, so but we are starting to talk. We are starting. We have been talking about it. So yes, Arizona will definitely be a part. I will still do the proclamation for us, and so we will have that again.
So for
we're gonna
those
try
that
and
are
come up with something out of the box. I will tell you, I loved her presentation. Phenomenal. It reminds me of Move Over Day, but it's just like on steroids. So I loved it. I loved it. So fantastic job for her. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
So Angela, to what Angela spoke to, over the last 2 years in Arizona, they have had little Crash Responder Safety Week flyers stuck to pizza boxes for a major pizza delivery chain, so that anytime a pizza is ordered and delivered, they get the delivery with a flyer that says Crash Responder Safety Week. So to have multiple restaurant venues promoting Crash Responder Safety Week is incredible. And if you want to learn more about how they made it happen, shoot out a quick question or message to Jim, and we'll connect you with the man, the legend, the myth, who has done some really creative things for Crash Responder Safety Week. So thank you, Angela.
You bet.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, Dr. Hart is
absolutely.
one of a kind. He's a great one to have on your team, but you got to limit his emails. I'll just say that.
Okay. Anybody else here? We're almost at half past the
Yeah,
hour.
we're about out of time. So if we want to close, this would be the time to do it. We have one more ask, I think.
Do we have
So
another
next
question in the
slide.
box? Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is upcoming, as you said earlier, Vishali. The
Mhm.
next All States Planning, August 13th. Please join us. And you see there, we're going to have Christopher Flores, social media strategist from Wisconsin DOT. And then our next one in September 10th. And then the big day for CRSW week, the kickoff webinar. So please do join us, and please keep doing great things. All of you are leaders and champions, and we can't do it without you. And boy, on behalf of Federal Highway, US DOT, Tim Program Office, Sharon Cuevas, who's my colleague that's still on, and Dave Johnson, our team leader, Vishali Shah, Kelly Claver, and of course the National Operations Center of Excellence, Kevin Vida, and the executive director. I noticed Nicholas Ramphos was on with us today, the executive director of the NOCO. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe.